What's going on? So the video is about Eddie Murphy saying that he's embarrassed about his stand-up performances in Delirious and Raw because he felt they were too homophobic, and about how he got matured about AIDS and so on and so forth as time went on. Yes, you change your ideas. However, that's part of who you were at the time. And I'm gonna say it like this: only apologize if you're affected in a way that you're going to take back almost everything that you were. Think about that for a moment. See, Hollywood has always been gay friendly system. So it's not like he didn't see things or didn't know things. And this ain't some grand revelation. Now, is he offended because that people close to him died from AIDS or something, or because he felt like his words misconstrued? But last I checked, he's not giving back the money to the paying customers who bought those tapes and those CDs and went to those concerts. Now, is it? So, what are you really apologizing for? Now, I say it like this: say that you offended people at a particular time, and that's where I was, and people say stuff. Let's be realistic. People say stuff. They say stuff at different intervals of their lives. However, that's what people paid to go see. People paid to see Eddie Murphy say and do things that he did. Because as a comedian, it's like what's happening in the news. Can you make us laugh? We see it. What's going on? That's what they want. You know. It was kind of funny though, when you think about it, how the language and the coarseness of it, some things that weren't acceptable, but they've always been acceptable in Hollywood. You know, I've it's like the rappers do it all. A lot of rappers on it, cats do it. Homophobic remarks, slurs, etc., etc. People buy it, and yet, you come back and you say, "Well, I was younger and I said this, I said that." Well, you say that, but that's what made you what you are. And last I checked, you ain't giving back no money, you're not giving back no time, and you're not putting it to necessarily change the culture. Um, so where are you at? And can I buy Eddie Murphy saying he's sorry? I can buy it from the standpoint because of a serious issue. However, I can't buy that that was part of your routine, and also that sold. That's what people paid to see. If anything, if you're an artist, you apologize to your audience and saying that this is what I thought what was happening. And that's what I'm down with, what I was down with. But what were you down with? Because you knew what was going on out in Hollywood. That's the thing about it. I don't be buying when I hear a comedian or rappers or some art people talk about, and they're in Hollywood and they say, oh, these guys are fags and they soft and they talk all that. They're in an industry where they know homophobic, what's going on. So to sit there and tell that lie, to play that lie, they get paid and programmed to downplay. You know what's going on in Hollywood. There is no secrets. You may not necessarily come in contact, but you know. So don't sit up there and act like, oh, I didn't know. Just like in sports, people know who was gay on the team. Tracy McGrady came out and said it. Charles Haley said it. They saw, they know. So don't act like, oh, I didn't, and you say all this negativity and then you get questioned about it, you know. So anyway, with Eddie Murphy's situation, don't be ashamed of who you were, but be enlightened to what you become. That's all I say about that, because then that's what you were. And you can't turn that back. But what you can do is from this day forward to say, I would never do that again. I did that then. That's where I was. It's like Muhammad Ali's quote. If you ain't changed in 30 years from 20 to 50, you done wasted 30 years of your life. So that's where you were. Don't take it back. Just like Ice Cube was cool with everybody from NWA, but he had to drop No Vaseline. And why? Because that's what was going on. He still performs it today, unapologetic. Don't say you sorry unless you're never gonna do that again. But also, you're gonna make amends to flip it to something positive. You know something's offensive and what have you. Because words are one thing, but the way you go through your course of your actions is another. So that's all I'm saying for Eddie Murphy, who is one of the greatest comedians ever, one of the most charismatic. Still to this day, when Eddie pops up on the screen, you know, you always expect, and he's one of those people that he left a mark, but still, you know, there's nothing to go back on because that was then. But you make amends in a bigger picture, bigger light. All right, that's my thoughts and takes about Eddie Murphy being embarrassed about his old material. Give me your thoughts and takes about that. Feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell rings in the video. Have a good day. Peace.